hard to like coach other people to health when I'm like, well, I haven't drank water since yesterday, but drink your water. So yeah, I think that sums up where I'm at right now.
Very cool.
Okay, I'm here, guys. Thanks for waiting for me.
Hey, Coach.
Hi, Craig.
Not one. You guys did great. I'm burning the candle at both ends. I'm at a place here where I'm working on some new wheelchair prototype stuff and worked right up till 5:30. So thanks for hanging in there, guys.
Yeah.
Well, looks like we got quite a group here. Now, Matilda and Peter, you're in different windows this time.
That's right.
Yeah, I wanted a more comfortable chair.
Okay. Great.
We got 2 computers.
Yeah.
Well, there is definitely an agenda that Craig and I wanted to go over this week. Craig, I'll go ahead and let you kick this off.
Yeah.
With the Habits of Health call.
Yep, exactly. So thanks all for everyone that's on here right now. Of course, you get your 5 bonus points. All of my teams are doing great, so that's excellent. So one of the big things that we were kind of talking about this week is the healthy habits, the things that you get points for aren't merely just neat things that we chose to get points for. They're actually habits that if you incorporate into your life will make you a healthier person. And so that's why we decided we could track anything we wanted to, right? If it made it healthy for you to pat your head, we would have given you points for that, right? So don't in your mind, don't just think about, drinking water or doing these different things just because you're getting points for it. These are healthy habits. So, so next I wanted to, let's see here. If you do have background audio and you're on a telephone, you can actually push the mute button on your phone, and that will mute any background noise. So we have a nice clean call. And then, of course, if you're on your computer, you can push mute in the interface, depending on it's different whether you're on a Mac or a PC or whether you're on an iPad or an Android. But if you guys can yourself. So we had a great call this week. It was the Habits of Health call. And let's see here. I'm going to mute someone getting in their car.
It's me. Sorry.
No worries. I'll just meet you there. And then, so they had a help. Who listened to the Habits of Health calls this week? You can just raise your hand. Yeah. Okay. So we got quite a few of you. Excellent. All right, so it was an awesome call, and so I'd love to have a couple of you guys jump in and share maybe 1 or 2 highlights, how it spoke to you personally. Gina, maybe you can. Actually, is Katina on yet?
Yeah, she's on.
Okay, good. So I want to have her jump in first because she's at a son's baseball game. So you can jump in first there, Katina. Unless I muted you. Let's see.
Put it all up, right? With the board, 2 boards. One at the top, one down at the middle.
Okay, that wasn't her. Somebody.
Well, Carol, why don't you hop in? I'm going to put you on the spot because we actually listened to the Habits of Health call together.
Oh, cool.
So don't overdo it on exercise. Don't have competing values. Working to be more fit and being more active is different from working to lose weight. And you have to figure out what you want more right now. So if you want to get back into like lots of cardio and classes, you shouldn't do that till you're at your goal weight.
Mm-hmm. Who else resonated with that message? Was that, yeah, I did as well. We start getting healthy and we think, let's go do those, healthy things. And we don't quite we're building the body for that. We don't have it yet. And one can prevent you from achieving the other one. Did anybody else have a comment that they want to jump in and tell us what you thought about the call?
Well, I did 50 squats the other day. Somebody told me to do 15 of them. I decided to do 50 of them. I felt like I rode a horse for a week.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah, so you can definitely overdo it for sure.
Yeah.
And the key to it here is first, the term first things first is it really means something. And if your goal is to get to a healthy weight, you exercise, believe it or not, can get in your way and block that first goal, and you can end up never getting to your healthy weight. And so most people they either underestimate or overestimate the power of exercise, and we're trying to get you to properly estimate it. Gina, did you have something on the call that you'd like to share? Can you hear me, Gina?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you. I didn't hear who you were talking to because you kind of muted out for a second.
Okay.
I agree, because that's something that, you hear people talk all the time saying, you won't do it until you start exercising. And so I was doing that conflicting. And I know my husband, who's still at work, really has that conflicting because he's wanting to pump the weights and all that kind of stuff. So he didn't get to hear it yet, but that's what he wanted me to have him hook up because he doesn't know how to do that technology piece. So anyway, he's going to really think about it. And, it's like what they said. You have to decide what you want. Do you want to get big muscles or do you want to get to your goal weight, and learn the healthy habits first before you start incorporating it. And I do like the fact that it's like, because I was sitting there thinking, oh, I need to go back to Zumba and all that kind of stuff, which could really probably create some hunger pains and you start making bad choices. So I was like, so maybe just taking my casual 30-minute walks, during my lunch break and stuff is a better choice to do.
The reality of 30-minute walks is you can probably do that for the rest of your life. You don't need a special classroom. You don't need a special membership. You don't need anything. You can do that anywhere you are. And so it's practical. And once you learn the power of maintaining eating properly and the rest kind of having a balanced, healthy life, you end up, think of all the time you save by not trying to make up for bad food choices with over exercising. I mean, you could spend that time doing other things.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
And I know that, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay, because I think this kind of comes back to a point, and Craig, you and I were talking about. If everyone thinks about it, it's about almost like, think of building a house. You have to build the foundation first. Everyone kind of gets in there and says, okay, I'm going to build a house and I can't wait to decorate. You just want to decorate. And that's all the exercise and everything else. But the truth is, you got to build that foundation first and build those habits of health to where then you can go, I built the foundation. I'm doing good. I'm ready to put up the walls. Get up your walls. When your walls are up, you're doing even better. Then you can start decorating. But you can't do one before the other.
Yep. Excellent. Did anybody, did you guys have any other comments? Before we move on to the next thing, I want to make sure you guys, maybe have a personal story of exercising too quickly, or, we talked a lot about it last week. What is exercise?
Well, I was just going to say, I know from personal experience that you can do Zumba 4 to 5 hours a week for a year and gain some muscle and definition, but you can easily not lose more than 5 pounds, even if you're eating pretty healthy. So it's not, Zumba doesn't equal weight loss, and I know that.
Yeah. There's like 4 or 5 things that are exercise is the best at. Anybody want to take a stab at one of those 4 or 5 things?
Mental, like thinking better. I don't know. That's
clarity. Clarity.
Clarity.
Yep. Yeah.
What about positive thinking?
Number 1, exercise is the best for stress management, to allow you to handle stressful situations for your brain. That's the number 1. Anybody want to take a guess at some other ones?
Better sleep.
It does help you sleep better. Yep. What about your flexibility? You thought about exercising and stretching and those kinds of things. Those will help you with flexibility. Yep. And the last 2 are, it helps you to be strong, and it also helps your heart. You're not going to get your heart in shape by eating 6 times a day, right? It's just not nearly aerobic enough. But exercise is going to help your heart and your cardiovascular system strong. And so weight loss isn't even in the top 10 as far as exercise goes. It's just not very effective. Well, and you guys know it. You guys maybe know it in your reality, but you may not believe it in your heads. And so that's a process of changing and calibrating that that we all go through. I think exercise is good for entertainment, but not everybody likes to exercise for fun, you know.
Well, I think it's kind of what we talked about earlier, Craig, you and I, when, and Carol and I actually talked, we had a discussion about this, about how people equate exercise and lifting weights. And they think it's one and the same. And there's so many other elements to it. Exercise is only one component.
Yep, exactly. So excellent. So the next thing is I wanted to clarify. Thank you guys all. That was great. So I want to talk a little bit about how to gain points. Some people had some no points, like on the monitor, on the B Slim, on the M section. Some people had no points for the M. And when I was reading it, basically, if you track your points every evening, and once a day, you write in your points for the 28-day challenge. That's actually paying attention to your B Slim lifestyle, breakfast, exercise, you know, all that. And so just by merely tracking your points, you actually get points for the M section. So some people don't track their points every day, so you may have a harder time getting those points in. And so the other way is to take your weight one day, maybe take your measurements another day, or you could just take your weight one day and then track your points all the rest of the days, and you could get 7 points for monitor, right? The individual plan, a lot of people didn't have anything in there for individual plan. An individual plan is basically, you could decide that you want to get in water is what you're going to work on this week, and you want to get in 72 ounces of water. So if you get that in every day, you get a point. So that's a very, very flexible. You can make that, I'm going to take the stairs at work, or I'm going to stand up while I'm talking on the phone, or, you know, I want to read for 20 minutes a day, or go to bed by a certain bedtime. Any of those kinds of things that you would set up as far as your individual plan, you make that goal for the week, and then every day that you do that, you get a point for individual plan. And then the last one is exercise. Exercise is really just, it's activity. Some of you may do some walking. Some of you may do like 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, and 10 crunch or 10 squats every morning. That would give you a point for that. So it's something that you're doing throughout the day that's harder. You choose to do something harder than the easier thing that day. Walking to get the mail instead of driving your car. You know, if the post office, you have to go to the post office, it's within like a quarter mile or half a mile, maybe you walk there and walk home. That would give you your exercise points. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of clarity. You know, some people have at work, they have an activity that they do at lunchtime, and that would count for exercise if you go and you do that activity with coworkers and things like that. So that's that. Does anybody did anybody do any reading this week complete a lesson? What I decided to do is start from the end of the book, the last lesson, and work my way to the front, because I've done the first like 12 or 15 lessons multiple times, but I've never finished like the 21st lesson. So I'm starting at the end and moving my way forward. But who has some breakthroughs or something that they read that they'd like to share with the rest of us?
Craig, can I ask a question?
Yes, you can.
Are you referring to the books that you ordered for me?
Yes, you don't have the books yet. Yeah.
Kelly. Okay, I actually got them yesterday. So, okay, go ahead. Thank you.
So it'll be the Living a Longer, Healthier Life book, and then the Habits of Health book. Okay. Those are the 2 books. Yeah.
Okay.
Great books. So who read this week? Austin, Tina, Martin, Janelle, Carol. Oh, Yashika. Boy, we had a bunch of readers. Yeah, so why don't you guys just share one thing each of of a highlight of what you read or something that stood out to you.
Yashika, let's hear from you.
Yashiko, you go first. Yashika's a brand new health coach, and
I know. I'm excited to hear from her.
It's day one for her, so it's all brand new.
Yes, I read from the Discover Your Optimal Health, and I read the introduction and the first 3 chapters of the book, and it was very informational. I thought that I was really abreast of what I was reading and how to eat right and take care of myself, but this really gave me a lot more insight on how to eat better. The 5-in-1 plan that I'm doing right now, it was a struggle at first. Today was actually my first day doing it, and the food tasted a little bit different. I had the oatmeal this morning for breakfast. It tasted a little bit different than what I'm used to, and I was used to putting a lot of butter and milk and sugar in it, and I didn't do that, and so it had a real different taste to it. And but it worked out great. I put 1 pack of artificial sweetener in it, so that was good. Another thing that I had read here was, I believe it was chapter 2, I believe, and it was chapter 1, when it was talking about the optimal health and how to obtain that, how to get to your optimal health. And one key thing that stuck out to me, and I didn't understand what optimal health meant, and it's something simple as developing and maintaining a healthy habit. And that's just changing your mindset on what you're eating and choosing what is right for you versus what is bad for you. Mm-hmm. So, and that's something that's so easy to use. A kindergartner can figure that out. So I'm enjoying the book. I took the health continuum quiz and things like that, and it was really good. It was a good read. So that's where I am so far.
Oh, so good, so good. Who else has something they'd like to share?
I started back from the beginning because I was reading it before, and it's just kind of nice for that refresher piece of refocusing, what kind of habits do you want to change? Because from my journey starting in January to what I want now is a little bit different. So it's nice to go back and redo those lessons and kind of tweak it to where I am now. Mm-hmm. So the kind of habits that I'm changing to things I've learned along the way.
Yeah, I always thought it was weird because every time I read the book, I felt like Dr. A came into my house and he changed the chapters because there was all this new information every time.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, no, what's changed was me. Every time I read it, I'm in a different point, and so I do new things from it. Yeah. Anyone else want to share some highlights? Are you guys? How are you guys doing with the challenge? Actually, everybody. I think there was only 3 people out of 30 people that I didn't get scores from yet, and so all of you guys did great as far as that goes. And I covered some of the scoring points that you may be able to get some points that you may not have realized that were available to you. So double check those and make sure you get every point that you earned. And if you do notice that, wait a minute, I did check my points every night, well, then give yourself 7 points for your monitor. And if you find that you missed out on a few points, I have until 9 o'clock tonight to submit my points. And then those scores will be up tomorrow. And so you can resend me your score sheet for your weekly scoring sheet.
That's 9 o'clock Eastern too.
Yeah, 9 o'clock, no matter wherever you're at.
Yeah, so anyone like Peter, Matilda, and Carol, if there's any other points that you think that you may have had that you missed out on, Peter?
Yeah, I think you have some points left on the table.
Take a look at it because you guys are definitely a lot healthier than all of you probably imagine. I'm talking to the entire group.
Yeah. and Craig, you mentioned, if I can
yeah.
And not to interrupt you, Eric.
No, you're fine.
Because I had a client who asked me the same questions. Well, I really didn't get to work out, but I spent all day hanging up mats in the gym for for their basketball court. And I said, well, so you were lifting a lot of weight there, weren't you? He goes, yeah, that's pretty tiring. I said, that's really kind of working out, whether or not you're lifting weight in a gym or doing walking or push-ups. Is it activity that's beneficial?
Yeah, you could go do yard work for a half an hour and get a point. I mean, you're surprised how much people don't realize going dancing, that's exercise disguised as fun. So why don't we just call exercise fun and not call it exercise like it's something I gotta do? When I go ride my bike, it's not something somebody forces me to do. They have to force me to come home, actually. And so try to make exercise something that it's an activity you enjoy doing, and you just might do it more often. Some people hate going to the gym because they go and they walk on the stair climber and they hate it. Well, don't do that. Let's be a little creative here. Go for a walk with your spouse.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
I don't know if you guys saw, but this last week on Britain's Got Talent, there was an 80-year-old contestant out there doing a swing dance routine and doing flips, tumbles, thrown over the guy's shoulder. She looked like she was 20 or back. She was teens doing this routine, and she was not going slow. She was doing fast spins and really exercise. That's neat in the neatest form.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Excellent. So for this week then, guys, make sure that you each call in, whoever is your personal health coach, make sure you call them. So set an appointment or work it out with them where you call them to actually give them your update of how your week's going. And can you guys still hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. I just shut off my video because I'm actually in my car. But so call your coach and then go give an update on how you're doing. You'll go over your scores for the week to see if maybe there's a day you missed breakfast or something like that. And so make sure you get all your points and go over that with your coach. And then we'll meet up again. Well, there'll be scores out. I'll publish the scores and the link to it on the Facebook page and in each one of your chat groups. And so does anybody have any questions about scoring points or about anything to do with the challenge that you want to ask now?
Yes. I might have missed the scoring where I listened to the support call, the Habits of Health support call. Where do I enter that score?
Yeah, so that's under I think it's the support on the B-Slim. It's under support. If you listen to a support call, every support call you listen to, you get a point for it, maximum of 1 per day. So you can go to supportcallsonline.com and you can go and listen to the archives. And if you want to listen to 7 support calls, you can get 7 points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Awesome.
Great. Yeah, the support calls are really, if you get into a habit of listening to one of those a week for the rest of your life, it will serve you well.
Mm-hmm.
It really will. The Habits of Health one is my favorite because it's more of a maintenance one, and I've been in maintenance for a few years. So anyway, so that's that. All right, guys. Well, I want to make sure everyone, any other questions? Okay. All right, guys. Well, then we will see you next week at the same time. And for those of you that may or may not have seen, I posted it to the Optimal Health client page at 6:30 tonight. So in about a half an hour, I'm going to be on another webinar talking about becoming a health coach with a bunch of other coaches. And so if you wanted to tune into that and just kind of get if you're interested or you never thought of yourself, but maybe you'd like to help some people and learn how to help other people get healthy, you may want to tune into that. And if you missed that and you want to have that conversation, by all means, let me know or let your health coach know. We need more coaches, and it's a lot of fun helping people get healthy. And so,
you said 6:30, Craig?
It's at 6:30 tonight, West Coast time. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not on Zoom though. It's a go-to meeting. If you look at the Optimal Health Coach Facebook page, you'll find the link to register for it.
Okay. I have a question, but I can ask Erica so you can get off and get ready.
Okay. All right. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to stop the recording. Good job, everybody. And I will. I'm going to sign off for now, and we'll see you next week. Go team! You guys are all doing great. This is a lot of fun.
Yay!
Thanks, Craig.
Thanks, Craig.
Yeah. Okay.